Good evening, everybody. Thank you all for registering and attending the 7-day online faculty development program on outcome-based education (OBE). This is being organized by the Internal Quality Assurance Cell (IQAC) of SES College in association with the Kerala State the Kerala State Higher Education Council. We would like to welcome all the FDP resource persons, managers, directors, principals, vice principals, representatives from management, HoDs, IQAC coordinators, and all faculty members. A very warm welcome to you all. Let me just tell you about this FDP. This is actually a 7-day program with live sessions from the timing on this timing from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. We expect you to attend the session on all 7 days. This is actually our third day of this FDP. We will be having 4 more days tomorrow and from Monday to Wednesday as well. Now, all the participants who have paid the processing fee will receive the LMS access, the video recordings for all the days, and also a participation certificate. If any of you would like to make the payment, you can make the payment of amount ₹300 to SES College. The details I'll put it in the chat. LMS has also got hands-on activities that are to be completed along with the FTP. My name is Sujin Jacob George. I'm the Global Relations Manager for IPSR Solutions Limited, and I'll be the moderator for this event. Now we will move on to the program for today, and today's program will be, the presentation will be done by Dr. Sunil Job KA. This will be continuation of yesterday's session itself. So I'll give you a brief description about Dr. Sunil, and then he will start off with the presentation. Dr. Sunil Job KA is an adjunct faculty with Marine College, Kutikanam, Autonomous. Dr. Sunil Job has over 30 plus years of experience in teaching and 10 plus years in corporate consultancy. He holds a PhD in mathematical education, and has also been an associate professor at MG University. And is a College of Teacher Education from 1999. He has started his career as assistant professor at Kannur Rani College in Kollam. He has served as a visiting team member for NCTE for grant of recognition and a resource person for the Affiliation Renewal Committee of MG University. Over to you, sir. I think you can start off your session.
Okay, Sujin, thank you for your introduction. So actually, we have been discussing about Bloom's taxonomy in the previous section. So once again, let me welcome you to the third day of our FDP. And I think the participants are in the way of joining only. So anyhow, it's weekend, so probably you'll be more relaxed than the other days. And 7 to 9 probably will be the most relaxing period. So I think you could put your thoughts in a relaxed mood in this time. So I think I've mentioned in the previous day that today we will be having a little tight segment. That's why we have started the section at sharp 7, because actually I am here to take 3 sections. Actually, the one we have taken yesterday, and the 2 sections will be discussed in this 2-hour segment. So we don't have much time to be in the introductory part. And also, as mentioned by Sujin, that LMS, that is the place where there is a real life of OBE. You have got a lot of activities that you could do on hands-on, which will really add more and more experiences in the way of outcome-based education. Also, the recordings also will be available. If there's some, you have some omissions during the sections, it could be bridged in the LMS also. So I think those who have registered should make the maximum utilization of that. And also there are forums running, so that's a very good platform for you to share your experiences, and we will be also visiting there to give answers to your queries. Sometimes it may not be possible because there are many persons who have been viewing this program in the YouTube also. So I think the LMS will be a better platform for you to put questions and get answered in a collaborative pattern. So without much of the introduction, let me go to the second segment of my part, which is will be going into an introduction into OBE. So actually, the most essential thing that we have discussed yesterday was on Bloom's taxonomy, because that is the guiding light of OBE, which is essential for every phases in the outcome-based implementation, OBE implementation scenario. So let me share my screen. Okay. So there is some connectivity issue, so that let me stop my video and share the screen. Is the screen shared, Sijin?
Yes, your screen is shared.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
now,
you.
yeah, all
Thank
right.
you.
Now the presentation is visible.
Okay, you can see my presentation. So let me put it into the. So well, so we can have our second section, which is will be an introduction to outcome-based education. So here we'll be focusing on two aspects. One is just an introduction to OBE, and also we'll be focusing more on how to formulate an outcome, because the basis and the essence of an outcome-based education is that we should get better outcomes. So the outcomes are the leading light of an outcome-based education process. So if the outcome is set in a better way, then definitely you are in the right track in OBE. So let's go with the section. So obviously, before going into this, it will be better to have a look on what is the agenda for today that we are going to have. So this is the menu that we are going to have in this first section, that we'll be having some thought process focused on what and why of OBE, because that will make the OBE a purposeful activity. So we'll be answering this question on what and why of OBE. Then we'll be introducing on the building block of OBE. Since this is a zero level, we'll be in the, getting into the OBE from the basic level itself. So we'll be introducing you about the building block of OBE, where these are the different components you could find in the building block, like program educational objectives, graduate attributes, PO, PSOs, course outcomes. So these are the components that you could find in the building block. We'll be detailing on that. And the most important part of this segment will be how can we write an outcome. So just we'll introduce you a formula for writing an outcome, and also will give you a criteria check on what will be a good outcome. So a quality check of a good outcome, and we'll be just detailing on some activities that we have for this section in the LMS. So here we go with our content. So this is something that I have put on why OBE, because in most of my sections I used to start the answer to the question why OBE through this slide, because this is actually one of the slide, one of the study report that has come up in the higher education journal, Enhancing University Education. Actually, what this showcases that the status of the graduates now who have completed a program. It's a professional program, who have completed a professional degree program. This is the status of the graduate, which is being studied for the purpose of the quality of the education system. So I am going to put a question for you. Actually, we will begin from this. So what can you comment on this about the result? About the result part. Is it a good result or what result? What is the percentage of pass? You can put it in chat. I want to make it little interactive, otherwise. So what is the percentage of the students passed in that program. So along we have x-axis here, and this is the failed, and this is the passed. Okay, so many answers are coming, not good. But how can you say that not good? I only just asked what is the percentage of passing, especially this is a professional program. It's an engineering program, and obviously we know that for an engineering program, it is customary that there will be more supplementary papers that happens. So considering the result, what is the pass percentage? Obviously, 84 is here, and in the top you could find 7 creep. That is totally the pass percentage is 91 percentage, and we can say that 91 percentage for a professional program without any supplementary paper is really a good. Is really a good what we could say that result. Really good result, because 91% pass is something very good. But the thing is that when we are analyzing the a second dimension, this is the first dimension on the academical pass out. When you come into the second dimension, when these people who have passed out, when put to a test, regarding how well they can perform in the certain task which is related to their domain of study. If it's an engineering program, obviously it's a professional program. So if they have been given some task related to the area that they have studied, related to an industrial scenario, how much they could perform. And it is too sad to say that only 7% of the students who are passing, who are going through an academical stream is really productive. Tomorrow, I think the section by Suresh Nampudri, he'll be giving a detail because he has made an ethical study about it, about the graduate students, the engineering students throughout India. And it reveals that 93 percentage of the students who are passing out of the colleges is not employable. They're confused graduates. Probably they may be having good marks, but when they're coming into the real work scenario, they are not able to excel in a better way. So that is something, the fallacy of the educational system. Because a professional college obviously is intended to prepare the students on the trade that they are working out. But it is sad to say that the students who are passing out are confused graduates. They are not able to apply their knowledge into the real life scenario. They are not able to coordinate with these work. They are not able to put up with the team. They are not able to bring better solutions. Likewise, they are not getting better workforces from these professional colleges. So that is definitely a fallacy of our educational system. And obviously, in the recent headlines, we could say that the CEOs from great players could say that they have to spend at least 6 to 1 year of their productive time for streamlining the graduates into the way that they require. So that itself is that they have to again invest on these graduates who are coming up with the better results. So this is something, a fallacy of the educational system that we could. So, we could see that this is there is something Uma data is. I am not able to see the PPT. Sijin, is there any problem with the PPT? Can you see that?
It's visible.
Okay, okay. I think Uma, some problem with your end. Please, I think you can log out and then log in. Probably then the error will be fixed. So 7% is that one who have got academically successful as well as they are successful in the career also. So what we could say is that the outcome-based education is an approach of education where we are trying to bring all this red area and this blue area into this green successful area. So we want to make the students who are pursuing education in our colleges successful, not only in the academical inputs, but also in their career, in their life, in the social life, etc., etc., etc. So in a very simple way, what I could say is that outcome-based education is an approach of education. We are focusing on not only an academical axis, which I could say a x-axis, but we are adding a y-axis, which is a bunch of competencies which the students should acquire after completion of this program. And that bunch of competencies can be could be the communication skill, it could be the problem solving ability, it could be the ability to work together in a team, or it could be a project management ability, it could be an ability of negotiations, whatever it may be, So we want not only the domain knowledge, but also we want to skill up in their competencies, which is essential for them to be successful in the domain that they have been progressing. So to make them successful in their career, to make them successful in their life, to make them successful in the social life, we have to equip them with the competencies and to ensure that these competencies are met. So I think that is the importance of OBE. That is why we are trying to. That is higher education. That is the higher education sector has been trying to make a disruptions in the traditional system and want to make the students multitaskers. So we could just put it in simple words, that outcome-based education is a model of education that deviates from the traditional focus. And what is the traditional focus? We are more focused on how much student, what the percentage of pass. We are more giving on to the academical domain. But in the outcome-based education, we could find that on what the institution provides the students in favor of making the students demonstrate that they know, that is their academical inputs, and they are able to do, that is their competency-wise inputs. So the outcome-based education is something that focuses on both their academical abilities and also their generic abilities, and to ensure that they have attained certain level of targets in their these competencies, so that they could be successful when they go out of the educational stream. So that is what outcome-based education focuses on. I think that will be clear. So the education is not, the student should not be an academic, should be both an academical scholar and also the strategic planners who will be able to contribute better in the society, career, etc. So that is the ultimate end that outcome-based education focuses. So from there should be a total change in the approaches that we have to make from the very grassroots level itself. So obviously, since it's a zero level, that is, we are just entering into the outcome-based education, it will be better to look into the 4 pillars of outcome-based education. The one important principle is that it gives a clarity of focus. I would like to put some thoughts on why clarity of focus. Because in an outcome-based education, the outcome, what will be the product specification of what the students are able to do will be showcased first. So that brings a clarity to the every activities. Usually, I used to just give a small example. In most of my section, I have mentioned about an example to give you a clarity regarding about this principle. Actually, it's regarding you are planning to build a house. This is the example I often say because it's a good example in this context. So if you're going to build a house, so obviously, what is your objective? I want to build a house. So I am having about some 50 cents of land. 50 cents of land, and I want to build not 50 cents. I'm just having only 10 cents of land because it's the city limit. The land is very expensive, right? So I have only a 10 cents of land, and I want to build a beautiful house in the 10 cents of land. And what I have is that I'm having about some 30 to 40 lakhs is there for me. And so just I want to make a house of about 2,000 or 2,500 square feet, a small house like that. So that's my plan. So here you have an objective of building a house in the budget of 40 lakhs in the 10 cents. So at this point of time, do you have a clarity on what will be the final format of your house? What will be the final design? How your house will look like? Definitely not. So obviously, what will be the next step? You will be going to an architect and will be discussing about this your plan. Okay, so architect will be putting up some questions. Okay, you want it to be a single story, or you want to be double story. Obviously, you will again reveal, I want a double story so that I can have some landscape done, so that it could make some beauty, and I can make some cultivations like gardening or vegetable garden like that. You can put. But still, the 100% clarity on what will be the final format of the house and garden is not been clear. So the same instance, if you can do it in another way. Suppose if you have some dream house which have attracted your attention, you can take your architect with the permission of the house owner. You can just go and ask this architect that I need exactly the same house like this. So you can just check both instances. One, you don't have clarity, you have objective. The other is that objective has given a clarity on how the house on construction will look like. So this is the difference between the objective-based instruction and outcome-based instruction. In the objective-based instruction, you have got some focus on what you are going to teach the students these topics. But in an outcome-based education, you are fixing the final format of the students. That is just like you are showing the house to this your architect, and you ask that I want exactly the same house. So the clarity that the final product will be like this. This will be the shape of the house. I am having a two-story. So where will be my bedroom? Where will be my living room? So kitchen position. Everything is clear. What will be the dimensions? So perfect. So this is the difference. So what will be the end will be first fixed, and that will be taken to the center, and all the planning will start from the end point. That is, the engineer will be designing, will be making measurements, creating designs. He will design backward, and he will come to the 0 point, starting point, with the draft of the plan of the particular house, and also the estimate. This is exactly what outcome-based education is like. That is, what should be the end will be first fixed. So what will be the end in the educational scenario on completion of the program? What the students are capable of doing will be first fixed. And you will be streamlining the students through your curriculum to that end point, so that the endpoints are met. So do you think that there is a clarity there? So there is a complete clarity will be there, because you will be you are just prescribing, you are just fixing that this should be the output that I expect. I want the students after my class, and you will be designing your curriculum from the end point, that is designing backward, designing down. And as yesterday, Benjamin Bloom has said that they have got high expectation on the students. You cannot say that, yeah, these students will not be able to progress in my curriculum as I plan. No, definitely not, because most of the students will have the ability to learn if you are giving them and the curriculum according to their levels. So something in an outcome-based approach, you have to work with curriculum. Actually, the role of the teacher will be like an engineer creating an environment, because the outcome-based education, we want to foster learning rather than teaching. Teaching is something creating an environment so that the students are actively participating in some activities, so that they can contribute to well. They can perform well. They gain the knowledge and also gaining the competencies by involving, collaborating in their academical sphere. So expanded opportunities, multiple innovative practices has to be included. So if you are putting the outcome-based education in its right way, definitely if you are going for an NAC accreditation, you can answer every criteria in its best. Not only two criteria, whether you have put made the outcomes showcased in the website, or have you started with your assessment plans. No, you can answer all the criteria in an outcome-based scenario, so that it will be outstanding. That could get more credits in every criteria. So this is the building a block of an outcome-based education scenario. That is, in the vision and mission will be there for every institution. Obviously, vision and mission will be something that decide the modus of operandi of an institution. And obviously, in the first section, I think that Saji Gobinath sir has mentioned that the vision of every institution should be streamlined with the national goals, the national educational goals like that. As well as US specific and national educational goals should be merged to form the best vision, which showcases the betterment of the nation. These are the different components which we'll be discussing in detail in the upcoming slides. That there will be a program educational objective, and based on this program educational objective, we will be developing program outcomes and program specific outcomes. And on the basis of this program outcomes and program specific outcomes, you will be figuring out what courses is capable of developing this program outcomes and program specific outcomes, and you will be showcasing it in a program. So this will be the program structure in accordance with an outcome based education. So this is an institutional scenario. Inside the institutional scenario, and a curriculum according to the outcome-based education should have these components. One, program educational objectives, and under the program educational objectives, in the lines of program educational objectives, there should be program outcomes and program-specific outcomes. And on the basis of these program outcomes and program-specific outcomes, you will be having a number of courses added for the program, like the first semester 6 courses, second semester 6 courses, like that. If there are 6 semesters, 6 into 6, 36 courses, and the related activities will be there in the third level. So when we are formulating a curriculum in accordance with the outcome based education, you have to come from top to down. What does this mean? That is, while preparing a curriculum for the outcome-based education, the first thing that you have to focus is that you have to create program education objective. This is the only objective that you could find in an outcome-based educational topology. Only one objectives. Why this objective? What is program education objective? Because we'll be detailing it in the upcoming slides, but one single 2 or 3 lines regarding these things I'll mention at this point of time. So program educational objective is the goal of the program. That is, if the student is been enrolling for a BCom program or a BCA program, what the students should be able to perform when he goes out of the after completing, when he goes out of the education system, where he should be, how he should be fixed. So the program educational objectives. Objective is means you have to focus on what the students are capable of taking up after leaving this program. After leaving the college, what the students are capable of taking up. It can be, the goal can be something related to a career. He have to get into a career. He should be he should be able to get into a career, or he should pursue higher education for PG level or research level, or he have to live in the society. So he have to we have to contribute as a worthy member of the society. So that can be one of the objective. So he have to live in align with the environment, because that is something, environment sustainability is something very important, the need of the hour. So when he goes out, he have to live in lines with the environment. So likewise, you have to set some objectives. What are the goals of this program? The programs are futuristic. So for realization of this goal, for the persons to get into a career, or the persons to pursue a higher education, or the person to live a better life in harmony with the environment, what are the takeaways that you should give to them? Or what are the competencies that you should equip the students for pursuing their goal? That is something we say as program outcomes and program specific outcomes. So the focus of an outcome-based education is to equip with some competencies which is essential to meet your futuristic goal. So that is program outcomes and program specific outcomes. So you can see that program outcome and program specific outcome. Why two? Because in a college, there will be many programs like arts. There will be many subjects, many programs related to the art discipline, many programs related to the management discipline, many programs related to science discipline. Likewise, there are many disciplines like this BSc physics, chemistry, biology, BCom, BA economics, BA literature. Like that, many programs will be there. So the program outcomes are the generic competencies that every students, irrespective of the program, should actualize. So that is program outcomes, generic. So in a college, there can be a common set of program outcomes. Program outcomes are the competencies which is essential for them when they come into the society, to live with the society. And what is program specific outcomes? Definitely, the different program will be are basically different in nature. So, a commerce students will be more focusing on the accounts management, marketing, like that. Science students will be having different focus. So, what are the program specific outcomes related to the program? So that will be different with respect to the different programs. So this is the second thing that we have to formulate. So we are coming from top to down. First, defining this one. On the base of this, what are the competencies essentials we will be planning out, and the goal of the educational program is to make them that is actualize these program outcomes and program specific outcomes. And for this, what are the tools in the hands of the teachers? They are the different courses that we sandwich in each semesters. Probably in first semester, so 5 to 6 or 7 courses with the practicals, second semester. So this is the tools by which we make these program outcomes and program specific outcomes happen. So these are the different courses, and each courses will be having the specific outcomes. So these courses are something we are including these courses. Why? Because we want these program outcomes and program specific outcomes to happen by these. So the most important thing for an outcome-based education is the actualization of the program outcomes and program specific outcomes through the actualization of the by giving the course in the right way, so that every course will be having their course level outcomes, which will be connected with these. So while formulating, you have to come from top to down, and while assessment. And what is the assessment? How the assessment takes place? You are not directly going and assessing the program outcomes and program specific outcomes, because this is the functional level of the teacher. These are the functional level of the teacher. So teacher will be interacting the students through the curriculum or the different courses. So they will be making the course done in the right way, such that every courses will be having few outcomes, and up their focus is for the actualization of the course level outcome. So when the course level outcomes is met, definitely the courses are planned in the lines of these program specific outcomes and program outcomes. So definitely these program outcomes will be met. So what we do for the assessment is that we will be assessing course level attainment, that is course level outcomes. And on the basis of their attainment of course level, they will be calculating the attainment of program outcomes and program specific outcomes. That is why the arrow is going from bottom to top. So this is the paradigm shift. You will be wondering why. We will be wondering what has been happening. So this is a traditional scholar where we know that we are giving more importance to what the academical part. We want to stuff them with a lot of informations, related to the subjects that they are studying, that discipline knowledge, domain specific knowledge, and related activities. We are focusing more, definitely. So now, what is the paradigm shift? What can you say about this? What does the present system of education is demanding? What can you say? What is the change in the paradigm here? You can put it in chat, because otherwise I want it also you also to be active. Yeah, more skills. Yeah, multiple skills, isn't it? Here, more on academics. Okay, you can put, Prasad, you're right. Yeah, 21st century skills should be added. Overall development, yeah, overall development is there. Not only academics, multiple competencies, right. That is what you saw in the first slide, because before we are focusing only on the x-axis, percentage of pass. Now we want not only that, we want the students to be successful in their life and career. So the y-axis also is important. So these are the multiple skill, multiple tasking. Yeah, very good. Which we needed. That is, they have to be, they have to develop critical ideas. They should be tech savvy. They should have project management skills. Likewise, they need the 21st century skills, which is essential for a successful life, along with the academical inputs. So this is what the modern educational system focuses. That is why we have given a y-axis also in our first slide, YOBE, right? Now we are just going into one by one. That is, what is program educational objectives? Because from the very first slide itself, you understood what is there. But I'm just giving little more detailing on this. So program educational objectives are nothing but the broad statement that focuses on what the students are expected to. When I say expected to, futuristic, it is the goal expected to attain within the first few years after completion of the program. Why after the first few years? Because after passing out or moving out of our educational program, the first few years, the major impact of the scholar is what you give from your college. But after 10-15 years, the life experiences that they gain through the multiple from the multiple ways and means will be deciding their futuristic journey. So this is something important. When you are planning for an outcome-based education, when you're planning for an OB, the program educational objective, we focuses on the immediate goal. That is what you should be able to do immediately after completion. That's what first few years. And normally, the result that you get will be only obtained in a realistic way after about 3 to 4 years. That is why outcome-based education wants the educational system to make proper follow-up, to make better communication with the alumni, so that we get constant feedback from the alumni regarding how they are progressing in their workspace as well as in their life space. And on the basis of this feedback, we have to make some changes in our curriculum, pattern, delivery, etc. So the outcome-based educational topology is something which we can perceive it as that the curriculum should be on the basis of constant structuring and restructuring on terms of the feedback that we get from this community. So it is always dynamic. It should be always current, and it should always want the student to be update with that of the industry as well as the life situations like that. So constant feedback and revisions is something very important in this OBE curricular practices. So I think it is clear that these program educational objectives are some goals that they have to, the goals of the education, or what the students are capable of doing when they leave. That is why you can perceive this is the education institutions after moving out. What are the areas that they have to be prepared for? Obviously, they have to have better knowledge if they're pursuing higher education, or they can become a professional, or they can become an entrepreneur, or likewise they have to live with the society. They have to be social accountability with the society, with the environment. Likewise. So what are the educational objectives? So some dummy I have just taken. That is, the program educational objective says that first objective that I've taken is that the program graduates will be able to demonstrate competencies and leadership to become, what is this, professional, employee, and entrepreneur, leading to a successful career. So what should be the goal there? So this is a dummy statement that I have taken. So after completion of the program, the student should be able to get fixed into a better career, either as a professional or as an entrepreneur, or as an employee, whatever he is capable of doing. He should be able to fix into a career space. or pursue higher education. Suppose if they are looking to go for higher studies. So that is one goal of the program. What is the second goal? The students, the graduates will be able to demonstrate commitment towards the preservation of environment and sustainable development of the society, because every person is a part of the society and environment. So they have to have a good rapport with the society and environment. So they have got an accountability with the environment. So we have to equip them with those competencies which make them a perfect blend with the society as well as the environment. So likewise, the graduate will pursue lifelong learning. So that is something also very important, because you cannot live a lifelong with the skill set that you gain from your college alone. So you have to equip the students with that skill. So to keep that is updations of their skills in their career spaces or etc. Especially if they're working in IT, whatever is current in the present scenario will be outdated within 6 to 1 year. So we have to keep in abreast with the latest developments in the technologies, in the different developments in our career spaces, in order to excel in a better way in the life. So these are the different objectives that we are focusing on. Obviously, it is said that it is the program educational objectives decide what should be the program outcomes. So I've taken the first program educational objective, that is the graduate should be able to demonstrate competency and leadership to become professional employee, etc. So the first goal is something related to the career. So in order to make them comfortable to fix into a better career, what are the competencies that you have to provide to them? You can just comment. Suppose if the student, if you want the student to have a successful career in marketing, what are the competencies that they should have? Suppose if it is a BCom program, the program is a BCom program. So in the BCom program, you have fixed that the student should be able to enter or find a career. So what are the competencies that the student should require? Okay, effective communication skills. Effective communication skills are there. Multitasking is accounting, communication skill, teamwork, critical thinking is very, very good. So these are the competencies which is essential for them to be successful. These are the competencies and skill sets which you have to equip them. Then only they can flourish well in their professional platform or to get into a career. So likewise, we have to filter out what are the essential competencies which is being needed. So these competencies, we can say it as the graduate attributes. So the outcome-based education focuses on, we have to ensure that the students acquire these graduate attributes while they complete and leave the program. So it's not about how much marks they get for the examinations, but that is important. Together with that, they have to ensure that these skills that you have planned priorly should be met when they pass out of the educational stream. So these are the graduate attributes which the UGC has suggested. Some graduate attributes, like obviously the disciplinary knowledge is needed for every that is related to the domain. In addition to that, what are the skill sets? They should have communication skills, critical thinking, problem solving ability, analytical reasoning ability, research related skills. For higher education, if you are going for higher education, obviously research related skills, corporate and teamwork. So likewise, reflective thinking. These are you can select. So the UGC has given about 15 graduate attributes. So these are the graduate attributes which becomes these graduate attributes, when you are writing it in terms of verbally writing in terms of an statement, it will become an outcome. In our next presentation, I will be showing how to write an outcome from these graduate attributes. So we can say that at this point of time, both the graduate attribute and the program outcomes are same. This is the embryo. So graduate attribute is the embryo on the basis of which what the students are capable of doing if they have communication skill, that will become an outcome. So this graduate attribute is a program level. So when you write an outcome related to this, that will become a program outcome. That will be writing in the text section presentation, which we will first discussing in this data. So the UGC has given about 15 and asked them to find the best outcomes, and you can add more if there is something extra than this, you can add that. So these are the graduate attributes suggested by the UGC, where these graduate attributes will be redefined in the form of an outcome, which we call as program level outcome. Here, these graduate attributes are selected at a college level. While defining a program, it is the responsibility of the college to formulate the graduate attributes first. And on the basis of the graduate attribute only, you are going and selecting what are the courses that could be added into that program for the actualization of these graduate attributes. And for this engineering program, the NPA has already given a set of 12 graduate attributes. So every trait, they can customize their graduate attribute with respect to the trait. But the essence is this. The essence means these are the graduate attributes, and they can write outcomes on the lines of these graduate attributes. So the first 5 graduate attributes are purely technical. That is, if it is a computer science programming, the technical skills, the engineering knowledge related to the computer science, problem solving related to the computer science. And if it is the civil, okay, the knowledge related to their particular domain. So the first thing are the technical skills. And this is something that we call as the program specific. Actually, it is a program specific outcome, which is not specifically mentioned. Actually, the first 5 are technical outcomes, and these are the generic outcomes. These are the generic outcomes, engineer and society. That is, what is the social commitment that an engineer have in their work field. So, environment and sustainability, ethics, individual and teamwork, communication, project management, lifelong learning. So these are something common graduate attributes. So this is what in the arts and science college we call it as program outcomes, and the other we call it as program specific outcomes. But the NBA has already given them a list of 12 set of outcomes, graduate attributes, which could be developed into the form of the outcomes. Because why? Because this is because these outcomes are derived from because we are the members of this Washington Accord, which signed a treaty which has been signed by many developed countries, and they have in the treaty it has been said that these all the professional colleges following these graduate attributes and accredited by NBA Tier 1, that is IITs, the students will be able to pursue their education into their counterpart, that is universities belonging to the countries which are signed the Washington Accord without any additional requirement. Just like there is a mobility, educational mobility to continue the pursue the education without any equivalence or transcript, because they are because in the treaty it has been said that they have to adopt these program outcomes, and and they have to adopt the methodology of outcome-based education, so that there will be a global-wide standardization of the engineering program, so that they can have global mobility with respect to the education level with respect to the professional level also. So now we can just go into, I'm just looking at the clock, we can go into these program outcomes. That is, you understood that now we are at the level of graduate attribute. From the program educational objectives, we have selected what are the program graduate attributes essential for the accomplishment of the program. Program specific, that is program objectives. So the program outcomes are nothing but these graduate attributes written in the form of what outcomes. So graduate attributes and these program outcomes are same. In the next presentation, I will show how a graduate attributes is converted into an outcome statement that I will be showing in the next presentations. So we can say that both the graduate attributes and the program outcomes are same, and the graduate attributes are the soul of the program outcomes. So what is program outcome refers to? They refers to the knowledge, skill, and attitudes that the student should have at the end of the program. So that is what we said, that on completion of the program, the student should actualize these graduate attributes. So these graduate attributes will be in the form of knowledge, disciplinary knowledge, in the form of skills, communication skills, in the form of attitudes, that is environmental sustainability, ethics. All these things are something related to the attitudes. So the graduate attributes are something, a combination of knowledge, skills, and attitude that the graduate should attain by the completion of the program. And program specific outcomes, what is that? The program specific outcomes should be formulated. The program PSO, the program specific outcomes, describes that what the graduates of a specific program will be able to do. So that is what I mentioned in the previous slide. That is the students belonging to BCom, they'll be having something related to their domain expertise. BA, some additional graduate attributes related to their subject. So common and specific. These are the graduate the attributes with respect to a program, common as well as specific. And obviously, by the end of the program, what we have to calculate is that we have to, just like we are giving marks to the students, we will be able to calculate the level of attainment of the students with respect to these attributes. As I've told, that the different graduate attributes which has been selected by the college may include discipline knowledge, communication skill, critical thinking, problem solving, like this. So by the end of the program, what we have to calculate, to what level the student has attained these competencies, what level of competencies that the student attained with respect to these graduate attributes. So actually, this is the attainments this is the attainment of a single student. Okay, a student X has attained a discipline knowledge of 2.3, and the communication skill of 1.8, and this is a 4-point scale which has been mapped from 0 to 4. No, sorry, 0 to 3. From 0 to 3, 4-point scale: 0, 1, 2, 3. So the maximum will be 3. So out of 3, this student has attained a discipline knowledge of 2.3. That is a very high. Then a communication skill of 1.8. 1.8 in the sense it is about a 60% attainment. Or a critical thinking skills of 2.7. That is out of 3, I can say that is a 90% attainment. So like that, we should be able to compute the level of attainment of every this PO, or the graduate attributes with respect to the program. Okay, so either you can put it in the form of the numerical value, or you can have a heat map. Heat map in the sense, if the graduate attribute is more than 70% level, 70% level is 2.1. If it is more than 2.1, you can say that it is high, which you can show as some color like green. And this is something more than 50%, that is 1.5 up to 2.1. Okay, so you can either present it, and anything below 1.5 could be considered as red, that is they have not attained the desired level. So you can fix the target for every graduate attribute. If it is 50%, okay, this is comfortable, they have attained the graduate attribute with respect to every attribute which has been considered for the program. So finally, actually, if you are able to create something like this definitely this will be just like a professional, that is a profile for the students. So if the student is taking this type of attainment scale to the employer, the employer will be able to identify what is the level of expertise for communication skill. Okay, he is 1.8, that means only 60%. If it is 2.7, I can say that, oh, he is having a very good communication skill, provided that your assessment should be true. Suppose if you are giving 2.7, and if the students are not able to even write a letter correctly, then definitely that will backfire not on the student but on the college. So at this point of initial stage, we don't give the score like this. We will just keep a record in the college and say that, okay, they have attained or not attained. And when our assessment system becomes perfect, and valid, okay, you will be able to come to a position where you'll be able to provide a scale or a attainment certificate with respect to the competencies along with the mark sheet. So that will be a higher level attainment, a higher level achievement of the college if they are able to provide, provided these assessments that you should give is trustworthy. And coming to the outcome, so we have taken the first component, program educational objective, then program outcomes and program specific outcomes, and then coming to the course level outcome. So what is course level outcome? Obviously, what is the outcome that the course will bring in the student? That is what course level outcome. That is what the students are capable of doing on completion of that course. That is nothing but the course level outcome. So these are the resultant skills. Skills means what the student is able to do, and the skills that the student acquire at the end of the course. So the course level outcomes are nothing but the course level knowledge and skill the students attain at the end of the program. So the program outcomes are something which will be prepared at the institution level, but the course level outcomes should be prepared by the faculty which has been handling. When you come at an autonomous level, the faculty who are handling the paper should develop these course level outcomes. So for writing a course level outcome, it is quite simple. You have to ask yourself that what that is on completion of a particular subject, that is a paper that you're handling, what are the things that the students are capable of doing on after completion of this course. You have to list it, and that answer you can put it in the form of an outcome. So in the upcoming slides, we will be discussing on how to write an outcome. What is the formula for writing an outcome? So first thing we have to do is that you have to ask a question. That is, our expertise will give that answer. I am going to teach this paper. So on completion of this paper, okay, the course has been completed. But what are the outcomes that the students are able to do after studying this paper? That is what you have to figure out first. And that is nothing but the course level outcome that you have to first prefix. The students will be capable of doing such and such things on completion of this paper. Then that will be showcased as the course level outcome. So while writing an outcome, it is said that the outcome should have the CO or the major domain specific outcome written using action verb. So while writing an outcome, you have to ensure that what the students are able to do in the form of an action verb. The action verb will showcase what is the level of the outcome, whether you are focusing the students to a understanding level learning, or you are focusing taking the students to an application level learning. That is your outcome. Or whether you are focusing the student to take to an analytical level. That could be read from the verb that you are including in formulation of the outcome. That is why we have given that much priority for Bloom's taxonomy. So the Bloom's taxonomy verb, while formulation of outcome will showcase the quality of the outcome. And using an action verb which is specific, measurable, and demonstrated by the students on completion of the program. So this is something very important. So you can write the outcome, what the students are capable of doing by incorporating the verbs from the Bloom's taxonomy, which help you to assess what is the level of that outcome, whether it is a create level outcome, or whether it is an analytical level outcome, or whether it is a basic level outcome. So now we will just go into a formula for writing an outcome. So in the previous slide, I've told that before writing an outcome, the teacher should ask the question to themselves that what are that is on completion of this course, what are the things that the student should be able to do, and that they have to formulate in a generic way, not writing about the 100 things that the students are able to do. You have to express it in a generic way, the statement. That is, for every course, it will be better that you can have about 4 to 5 or 6 or 7 outcomes. not more than that. Otherwise, it will be very complicated. You have to go and sit on calculating this, and you have to map all these outcomes to the POs. That will become very so a normal way. What we see is that if a course will have 5 modules, then you can take the first module and ask the same question. So what are the major focus of this module, and what the students will be capable of doing on completion of this module, and that answer could be written in the form of an outcome. The second module, okay, you can write it like this. So this is the formula for writing an outcome. That is, an outcome has got 2 components. One, action, verb. So action verb will help you to showcase about the level on which the outcome should be. That is, outcome is something that is to what level that you're going to take the student. That is the outcome. So what level this class will take the student. So that is outcome. That is the action verb will say. And the second thing will be the learning statement. Learning statement is something related to, if you're taking the first module, the learning statement will be related to the first module. If you're taking the second module, the learning statement will be related to the second module. So if you're writing the outcome in that way, you can put it like this. Or if you're taking the whole course as a whole and asking the questions, and if the course has got a longitudinal pattern, then you will be getting the answer in that way. So you can formulate the outcome in that way. So, the action verb and the learning statement. So I'm handling one paper in operational research, and I'm just writing an outcome that I am teaching because operational research is dealing with optimization technique. So different optimization techniques we are teaching the students. So the optimization technique related to a product mix scenario through simplex method, in a transportation scenario, in a dynamic programming scenario, all these things we are teaching. So an outcome which I would like to make is that that is on completion of the program, what the student should be capable of doing is that the student should be able to appraise. When I say appraise, what is the specification level of appraise? Appraise means if you take the Bloom's taxonomy level, remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, and evaluation. Evaluation level is the appraisal level. So this outcome is something at a very higher order Bloom's taxonomy. So the students will be able to appraise what? Appraise the effectiveness of optimization technique. So I am teaching them different optimization technique. So they should know the optimization technique. They should have the ability to apply the optimization technique, and they have to identify the results of the optimization technique, and they have to pass judgment, which is the most effective optimization technique in which context? In an industrial scenario. So if it is an industrial scenario, what is the best optimization technique that could be adopted for? So this outcome has become a very beautiful outcome. So after completion of my teaching, what the student should be capable of doing, I will say that obviously, sure, that they will be able to evaluate, that means appraise the effectiveness of an optimization technique in an industrial context. So in formulation of this outcome, I have included 3 things. One, action verb, and this is the learning statement, what optimization techniques. This is the topic that I have taught. So that topic is being showcased here, optimization technique, the effectiveness of the optimization technique. So I can just make an outcome like this. The students should be able to what? Appraise the effectiveness of optimization technique. That is a generic one. And if I want to delimit it to the industry, okay, in the industry. So I can write the outcome in this way. So what is the learning outcome? Appraise the effectiveness of optimization technique in the industry. So that will become an outcome. So what can you read there? So when I teach this paper, optimization techniques, and on completion of the technique, what the student should be able to do? Okay, they appraise the effectiveness of the optimization technique in the industry. Which optimization technique is effective in which context? They'll be able to figure out and apply that. So that will be a better. So likewise, you will be able to write an outcome. So the outcome should have 2 components. One, what the students are capable of doing, which could be read out from the work, and to what they are able to do. Suppose if you're teaching the basic class in I'm not going at a course level, a basic outcome. in a class. I'm going to teach a class in Ohm's law. So I want to that is make them understand what is Ohm's law. Okay, that's what I'm going to make. So what is the outcome of my class there? The students, what they should be able to do, that is explain the Ohm's law. So explain, when they understand, they'll be able to explain what Ohm's law is. Or if I want to make it at a higher level, apply Ohm's law in such and such context and solve the problem. Okay, so that is how we will be able to write an outcome. So basically, an outcome, the format of an outcome as well as the format of a question, both will have the same property. Because you are putting a question, why? In order to assess what is the level of attainment. And what is outcome means what should be the level of attainment. That is taken first. So that is why I have given you the first exercise on formulation of questions and also identifying the level of the question. Because what the question stands for. After teaching something, you are asking questions in order to measure to what level, whether they have attained that, what you intended to teach them. That is a question is meant for. And what is the outcome? We are showcasing what should be, when you're coming at an academic level, what the students are capable of doing on completion of the topic. That is, again, a format of a question. So definitely the outcome and a question will have the same structure in terms of the Bloom's taxonomy will be there in the question, as well as the Bloom's taxonomy verb will depict to what level your outcome will be there. So now you can just write an outcome in a simple outcome, not a course level outcome. You're going to teach a topic, whether it is a democracy or whether it is Newton's law of motion, or whether it is regarding halogens, or any topic that you're going to teach. You can just write what should be the outcome of that class, what the student should be able to do. I'm not going to make you read all these things, just a small exercise, a small statement. So just, okay. So if you are teaching the students about taxation, GST, okay, the students, after completion of a class in GST, what the student should be able to do? Explain GST. Or apply, you are going a little more higher, apply the GST for calculation of tax, like that. Okay, I think you have written it, then I will show. You can check whether your outcome is good or not. So you have to read that. It is not wrong. Your outcome is not wrong, but it is a good practice. It is a good practice not to use the following verbs, because these verbs are generic, isn't it? Because if I say understand, okay, understand, you will not be able to see what the students, isn't it? The outcome should be measurable and observable. So you will not be able to figure out whether the student has understood. So how will you be able to because the outcome should depict what the students are capable of doing. So when I use understand in an outcome, it do not showcase what the students are capable of doing. So if I write explain is an understanding level specification. So that depict what the students are able to do. Summarize, illustrate. So if I using such verbs, that will become little more clear. So understanding is correct if you are writing at a higher level, because you are not directly measuring what a PO or POC, you are not directly measuring. So when you come to the granular level, course level, or even intended learning outcome for a class, it is better that you write these observable outcomes or the verbs in the form of an observable. So explain, solve, illustrate, identify. So these are something which gives clarity to the outcomes. So if you're writing understand, appreciate, cover, learn. I want the students to learn. So that is not it's an outcome, but it is not clarity and visibility is lacking in there. You are not able to see what the students are capable of doing. So outcome should depict something like that. The students are able to appraise, they evaluate. So the scenario becomes a little more clear, concise, and visible. So that is what is a better practice. But if you are not getting a verb compatible for your outcome, it could be used, because I've seen many colleges are using these verbs, but still I don't say that it is wrong, because in implementation of OB at first instance, there are a lot of relaxation and liberal approaches are there. But good practices, this is something that I've read it from the SPADI, who's considered as the father of OB. It says that the outcomes should be concise, precise, visible, observable, measurable, etc. So in that frame, if you see that you will not be able to understand. So what the students are able to do while they understand, that becomes more clear rather than using generic verbs like this. So just the students will understand democracy. So on understanding what they are able to do, the students will describe the major theories of democracy. I'm going to teach a topic on democracy, isn't it? The pattern of government in democracy. So how will you fix it? On completion of my topic, what the students should be able to do? They should be able to, what's they what should they'll be able to do? Describe the mere theories of democracy. So while writing outcomes, sometimes we say that if you write a two in front of that, it becomes an objective. Okay, don't write two. I will write only describe major theories of democracy. So that is outcome. So after teaching, the students will describe the theories of democracy. Then the students will appreciate the forms of culture. Appreciate its way. So we can just have some indicators how the students appreciate. That will be the better form of writing outcome. The students will identify the characteristics of arts of other culture. Okay, this is my culture, or these they are able to identify the common and the differences of arts. The students will learn. Okay, so it will be better. What happens after they learn will explain the major tenets of the law of relativity like that. So this will be a good way of writing outcome. That is making the verb little more clear, vivid, observable, measurable, rather than going with general verbs which do not depict what the students are capable of doing. So that is a common thing. The choice is yours. So when we go about saying about what are the good quality check for a good outcome, we will say that that is, are they written using an action verb? So while you're writing an outcome, obviously I've given you a formula. The outcome should contain an action verb as well as the learning statement. So there should be an action verb, which is obviously deduced from Bloom's taxonomical verb collection, so that we'll be able to showcase to what level you are able to take the students in the learning ladder. Does the language describe the student target rather than teacher behavior? Obviously, that outcome-based education is a pedocentric, the student-centric. So you have to put what the students are capable of doing. So when I say objective, it is the point of view of the teacher, isn't it? If I say objective, it is the point of view of the teacher, what the teacher focuses. Outcome is what is the product specification. The students with the desirable outcome, the desirable characteristic, that is the product. Just like if you're going to buy a product, you will be checking out what are the product specifications. Like that, what will be the product specification of this course? What the students are able to do on completion of the course. So it should be defined. It should be constructed or defined in the form with respect to the students' behavior. Then do the outcome clearly describe the abilities. Obviously, we told that the outcome should have the verb as well as the learning statement. So does the outcome clearly define the abilities, the knowledge, that is the learning part by which to which the outcome is related, or the value of the statement? So that should be showcased. So outcome is a combination of both the verb part as well as the learning statement. So whether the essence of the learning part or the context is being incorporated into the outcome. That is something very important. And is it possible to collect accurate and reliable data for the outcome? So is the outcome measurable? Because we have to ensure that we have to set indicators on whether the outcome is met or not. So whether there is any reliable method of measuring that outcomes, it can be a test or an activity or something like that. The outcome should be measured. So while writing an outcome, these things has to be kept in mind. These 4 quality checks should be there. That is, whether the action verb is there, whether the action verb is observable and measurable, whether the outcome is being phrased from a student's point of view, whether the learning statement connected to the outcome is being properly integrated with the outcome statement, and whether you will be able to identify an indicator by which you are able to measure the outcomes. So most probably it can be a test or an activity, or whatever way you are able to identify whether the outcome is met. So these are some of the sample outcomes which I've just taken just to showcase. This is from physics. Apply. What the student should be able to do? Apply law of physics, that is Hooke's law, for what? To compute different types. So this is the learning statement. So what can you say about this outcome? In the learning ladder, it is an application level outcome. So analyze the structural element. So analyze the verb part, the structural element of different force system to compute design parameters. So what is this? So here, this is the learning statement, and the student should be able to. So this outcome is at an analytical level. It's a commerce. Explain the various principles of organization. So this is an understanding level. You're taking the students only to the second level. That is probably you don't think that always the outcome should come at the top level. Suppose if you're going and introducing a topic, and the scope is only that, only explanation, you are only taking the student to a conceptual level. So don't think that while writing outcome, I often want to be at a create level. No, that depends upon the level of topic that you're handling. So at the first phase, obviously, you should be at an understanding level. So you have to understand the scope of the subject, and then only you have to fix the outcome. So this is by looking at that outcome, I can say that this is an understanding, conceptual level outcome. Select like this. So appraise, this is what I've showcased. Then analyze. So these are the different outcomes from different subjects, just for your reference output. So this is this task related to the first section, which will be available there. So your task is that you will be having a you can select any paper that you're handling. The paper, you will be having different outcomes. Probably you may be defined that outcome priorly, or sometimes the university may be giving you the outcome related to the subject, because now we are having a paradigm shift. Or if not, you can prepare the outcome for your course, and you can make the 4 quality check. If the first one, are they written using the action verb to specify the definite behavior. So whether there is a observable verb is there in the outcome. If there, you can put a yes or tick mark. Does the language describe the students? Okay, so all the 4 is been defined there. It is there given in your LMS. So those who are having LMS access, you can download that and you can complete that. And so I think you have to submit back into your LMS. So that is all regarding this first section. So here we have just answered the question, why, what is important. We just understood the building block of OB, and there we found that program educational objectives is the goal of the program, and PEO and PSOs, PO common, PSO specific, and course outcome, and how to write the course outcome, and quality check. So this is what we have for the first section. And I think if you have some query, because we have got one more section to go. So I think I will just give 5 minutes for relaxation, as well as you can put some question if you have some regarding this. If you have, I will be taking that question, or we are going to.
Yes, Dr. Sunil, that workshop activity in the LMS will be in the submission mode till the 23rd Jan midnight. Okay, that will be 23rd is till Monday midnight. You will have it on submission mode, and on 24th and 25th it will be on the evaluation mode. So you can download that file and submit.
Yeah. That's fine. Okay, Sijin. This activity has been given as a this assignment activity, right?
Yes, it's a workshop activity.
Workshop activity. It's given as a workshop activity. The workshop activity has got two phases. One, you can submit your task. That is, you can take five outcomes and you can rate the five outcomes and you complete that work and you can submit it. The submission mode will be available till the date which Sijan has mentioned, and it will be
23rd
there.
midnight. Yeah.
Yeah, 23rd. And after that, you will not be able to submit it. Then you will be given a few outcomes, which has been few such activities which has been prepared by others. So that is an evaluation mode. So here we are just taking you through the OBE live scenario. That is, you are doing it and you are going to an evaluation level where you can evaluate whether your friends' outcomes and you can make comments and you can resubmit it. So that will be a very interesting thing which is there in the LMS. So the LMS we have got a number of strategies included which could be adopted by you while implementing outcome-based education. So you can enjoy that also. So how to write a CO for course for unit wise or course wise. Okay, our next presentation is only on that. So don't worry, we will be discussing on that. Didn't understand the technical part of creation of an outcome. Okay, that will be taking up in the second presentation. Difference between program educational objectives and program outcomes. That is what I was explaining about 10 to 15 minutes. The program educational objectives is the first thing, the goal that we are first formulating. So what should be the goal of the program? That is the program educational objective, that is futuristic. And outcomes are what are the competencies that you have to equip the students for the actualization of program educational objectives, that is PO. So program educational objectives are goals of the program, and program outcomes are the competencies that is essential for the accomplishment of the program educational objectives. So first formulate your goals and then figure out what are the competencies essential for the students for accomplishing the program educational objectives. Okay, so that's it. Obviously, the PO should be connected with the vision and mission. That is right, because the PO should be connected with the because the vision and mission will decide the modus of operandi of the institution. So obviously, the PO should be formulated in the lines of program educational objectives, and this institution has got its own modus of operandi. So definitely the PO should have a connection with the vision and mission, and also the consultation of stakeholders. All these things is being incorporated for formulation of program educational objectives, and on the basis of that, the program outcomes should be prepared. That is right. What you have read is right. Can you use more than one action verb while writing outcome? Obviously, especially when you are writing this, what you could say that program outcomes, you can have more verbs, but it will be a better practice to have all these verbs at the same level. That will be making it better. But while you are coming into a granular level, it is better to incorporate only one verb, the course level outcome or even intended learning outcome. It is better to intended one verb. And if you are having two verbs, if you are particular that because there is no hard and fast rule, if you want two verbs, it is better to have both the verb in one level. If you are having an analytical outcome, it will be better to phrase the outcome with an verbs which is at an analytical level like that. how do you measure graduate attributes? Obviously, that will be there in the section which has been given by Dr. Mendes. That will be solely on calculation part. Did you understand the technical part, the difference between program? Okay. Okay. Each module must have, if the course has 4 modules, for each module should have just one CO and one PO. The the number of POs is not module specific. The PO should be prepared on the basis of the program only. Obviously, it is a customary that the POs are prepared by the institution level, and probably there can be about 8 to 12 POs could be there. And for the CO, obviously 4 to 7 will be an appropriate number. Okay.
There's a question there which says, can you explain the assignment once again?
Assignment. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because we have 8 or 25. One more segment to be good.
Do you want me to share the LMS thing? Then I can show them what they have to do in that.
This is the assignment task.
Yes. This yeah.
Assignment task you have to do. So you can write the COs here related to the topic that you're dealing, and you can check whether this for quality check has been done. You can write yes if the first one is met. Okay, second, third, fourth. Okay, so this you can write, and as a remark you can say that okay, for CO1, all the 4 quality check is yes. That means it is 100% okay. So there is no need for improvement. For the CO2, you think that only 3 of the thing is met. The second one is written in the form of an objective. You can say that yes, no, yes, yes. That means it is only 75% the quality. That is only for 75% is met. So anything less than 100 needs this improvement. So this is how you have to go, right? If there are more than 6 outcomes, you can add one more like this. You can just click here and add one more CO, and you can continue with your quality check, and you can update it here. You can add one more column here and add CO7 and say that whether it is apt or not, whether it is needs improvement. So anything less than 100 needs an improvement. So this is there in the LMS, so that you can complete it and submit it. So I think we can pass on to our next segment. Otherwise, we'll be running out of time. Can you please explain check 2? The check 2 is that whether the outcome is written in the point of a what you could say the student point of view, teacher point of view. Suppose if I write, normally it is said that if I writing to develop something, that means to develop something means it is in the it is written in the form of an objective. The outcome is that what the students are able to do. So define something that will be the format of writing an outcome. So probably it is said that it is a good practice to eliminate 2 while formulating these outcomes. Okay, so that is it. Whether you read that outcome and whether it explains what the students are capable of doing, then okay, it is how you are phrasing the outcome. Okay, we can go into this one. So this is the section number 3. So here we have having the structural design of PO, PSO, and CO. Because in the previous segment I told that we have identified what should be the graduate attribute. The graduate attribute will be the set of competencies what the students should be capable of doing on completion of the program. Okay, so that should be related to the program educational objectives. So the rationale behind the mapping, the standardization mapping scale, determination of the mapping strength, COP of mapping, significance of mapping, all these things will be discussed in this segment. So here we are going with the structural design. So in the first section, we will be discussing about the graduate attribute. Graduate attribute. The graduate attributes is the soul of that outcome. Is be considered as the soul of the outcome. How will you convert a graduate attribute into an outcome statement? That is what we are going to look here. So the first graduate attribute I have taken for the example is what? Communication skill. There we have mentioned the second graduate attribute, something as communication skill. So how can we write a graduate attribute into the form of outcome? When I say outcome, what the students are capable of doing with respect to this graduate attribute, that is the outcome. So what the students are able to do? Communication skill. So this communication skill is nothing but a bunch of competencies. So when you say communication skill, that means it will be having the ability to read, write, speak, comprehend, negotiate, then ability to read new communication medias effectively. Likewise, a number of competencies will be integrated to one word, what? Communication skill. So this is just an example. Communication skill. What is the communication skill? How this graduate attribute could be written in the form of an outcome. So in writing an outcome, we should have what? An action verb as well as the graduate attribute. So this is what we have shown in the previous slide, the formula for writing an outcome. Action verb together with learning statement if it is the basic level. So while you're writing program outcomes, the learning statement, instead of learning statement, we are using graduate attribute, verb plus graduate attribute. So here, communication skill can be reframed into an outcome in which way? Demonstrate. This is an application 11 verb. Demonstrate what? The functional ability to, you are breaking the communication skill as read, write, speak, comprehend, and communicate effectively using modern communication medias for participating successfully in what? Social, career, and life situations. So this is what the students should be able to do. So you can see before we were calling this as what? Graduate attribute. And now this graduate attribute is rephrased into an outcome statement, which we call it as program outcome. Is it clear? So we can say that demonstrate is the verb. What demonstrate? The ability to read. You are breaking this communication skill competency into multiple sub-competencies. Reading, ability to read, write, speak, comprehend. You can write, negotiate, communicate effectively using communication medias. So this is the split up of competencies. For what? For participating successfully in what is the context? In that form, in that outcome statement, I have mentioned three things: verb, learning statement, as well as context. Here, verb instead of learning statement, graduate attributes split ups, as well as the context. What is the context? Social, career, and life situations. So that becomes a perfect outcome. So we were mentioning about communication skill. Obviously, that is the soul of the PO. That is why when I was explaining in the previous, you will be confused. Okay, graduate attribute. Sometimes I say graduate attribute. Sometimes I say outcome, because both are same. The outcome is what the students are capable of doing. So this graduate attribute I converted into an outcome. So there was a question whether there can be multiple verbs. Okay, apply, use, and operate. Here only one verbs. Multiple verbs are there for modern tool usage. Apply, use, and operate modern tools. Tools that can be softwares or whatever. Techniques and resources to various activities of life, career, and higher education with knowledge of their limitations. So this is the modern tool usage. This is the modern tool usage. So what the students are capable of doing, they should be able to apply it. They should be able to use it. They should be able to operate the modern tools, techniques, resources. In which context? In life, career, and higher education, with the knowledge of limitations. With the knowledge of limitations in the sense, when we are using some that also, whether it is ethical or what non-ethical or what that also we can add to an outcome. So here verbs are there, multiple verbs are there. Then the split up of the modern tools, the tools usage means techniques, resources, everything could be there. The context is there, and also you are specifying what the quality factor also you have been added. Isn't it? So this is how you can formulate. So this is the graduate attributes written in the form of outcomes. And it is a good practice to optimize the number of POs to 8 to 12. And that could be written at a college level. And PSO is nothing but subject specific, what you have to attain in the subject. So this is the action work plus graduate attribute related to the program. So this is a BCA program. So this is the program specific outcomes are domain specific. What you are teaching in the subject related. The other is graduate, that a common thing. So this is something related to the subject. So here, what is this PSO? Apply in the sense what we are taking it to an application level. What are there in this BCA program? Mathematical foundations, algorithmic principles, computer science theory, and practices. So this is the split up of what the essence of what the BCA program in relevant computing situations. So we want to take the students at an application level in relevant computing situations. So it's a BCA, computer application only. So the next one, you are going to take them a little more higher. Design and develop software and programs with ethical concerns. So next, use that means use new designs, methodologies, operating systems, and languages, and other software development tools within reasonable time constraints. So we have formulated 3. So this is something purely related to this domain of computer application. So they want to take the entire computer application curriculum to an application level. Second, they want to design something. So the conceptual level should be elevated to the application level. Then design and develop softwares. So they have to develop softwares and programs with ethical concern. So not to go and create virus. So ethical concern also is been considered important as far as this program is concerned. And the other thing is that whatever thing is been coming up in the latest, we have to use them. Use new methodologies, operating systems, and languages, and other software tools within reasonable constraints. So just an example only. It is this PCA normally program specific outcomes. Normally, it is better to restrict it to between 2 to 4 PSOs will be there. So this is the entire. This could be considered as the entire curriculum, taking the entire curriculum to the application level. This is related to taking some elements of the curriculum to the higher level of this is developing, designing, etc. Create level. That means you can with the project, that is installing projects, and this is keeping update with the latest technologies. So the entire curriculum we have expressed it in 3 statements. Taking the entire courses to an application level, giving them opportunities to work with the project so that they come with the new designs, and also keeping them an ability to update what is current. So it's very beautifully designed like this. And this is a single course. The course, you can have 2 ways of writing outcome. That is action work plus course learning statements. The course learning statements, you can have it either longitudinally or cross-sectionally. The cross-section in the sense, you can take a module, ask yourself what the student should be able to do on completion of that module, reframe it into an outcome statement. That is, identify. This is something related to the first part. Identify what? The parts of the computers. That's what the students, it's an introduction to computers. So they'll be introducing the different parts of the computer. The student should be able to identify it. Then explain the functions of computers. So they should be able to understand it, because the first classes they have to take. Explain. So likewise, you will be able to formulate. So the course that I am handling is operational research. So I can have longitude, because I have got four modules. All the modules begins with formulation of modules, then development of algorithms and solving it and validating. So I can have the outcomes spanning all these modules, like formulation of these models, then solving these models for getting this result and validating it. You can put it like this, cross-sectionally. All the topics are having the same construct and structure, you can have longitudinal outcome. So you can ask yourself what the student should be able to do on completion of the course, that answer formulated into outcome. So the nature of the course is everything, you are the experts, so you can put it in that way. So, so I think that's the first part that I would like to put. So now I think it is clear that we have been mentioning about graduate attribute, and outcome. So how the graduate attribute reframed into an outcome, the different instances where you can use one verb or multiple verbs. If you're using multiple verbs, make it as a practice that put the verbs in a single level. That will make it the assessments all equal. Then writing program specific outcomes, that's purely the domain part. So that's you can frame it. And then a course outcome, you can take one course at a time, and the course is having different modules. Take one module, reframe it into an outcome. So now we are going into the calculation part, because now I am not going into this chat, because we won't reach anywhere. We will complete it, and then I'll come to the chat. Okay, now it's already 8:40. So calculating the following. So this is a task which I'm giving to you, because we are going to the mapping part. So before going to the mapping, I want to give you an idea about what's the rationale behind the mapping. So this is a scenario. Calculate the following. In a grading system, suppose homework counts 10%. So you are giving only 10% weightage for homework. So how much marks? You are giving marks for homework, quiz, and test, isn't it? And you are giving only 10% weightage for the homework. And for the quiz, you are giving 20% weightage. And for the test, you are giving 70% weightage. Okay, so that is the criteria you set for evaluation. You are giving three activities: homework, quiz, and test. And you are taking 10% from homework score that the student gained for homework, 20% from the scores that he have got from quiz, and 70% from the score that he have got from test. And now John, a boy, has a homework grade of 92. Probably in 100, he got 92. In the quiz, he got 68. Okay. And for the test, he got 81. So what is the combined score of John? You can calculate and put it in the chat. Yeah, 79.5, 79.5. Yes. So this was a scenario, combined grade, the three components. This is the weightage by which I take. So I pulled out 10% from this one, homework, 20% from quiz, and 70% from test, and I calculated the combined grade. So combined grade is 79.5, very good. Because how do I reach this? Weightage into their score, plus weightage into their score, plus 70 into their score, divided by the sum of the weightage. So this is nothing but the weighted average. If you are able to understand this and do this, definitely one of your question is answered. This is the logic behind the assessment calculation. How do we calculate the attainment? The attainment calculation is calculated in this scenario. So now the overall grade is the weighted average score of this component. We will show the same thing. So the combined grade, this was a scenario that we were having. Combined grade is calculated by 10% from homework, 20% from quiz, and 70% from test. And now if I am replacing this combined grade by PO, Okay, instead of the combined grade at a outcome-based scenario, what we calculate is that we have to calculate the final attainment of POs. So the combined grade could be replaced by the final grade that the final attainment the students get with respect to the different COs, like POs, like communication skill, modern tool usage, problem solving. So likewise, you have showcased different POs. So what is the combined grade will be, what will be the attainment of different POs. And each PO will be connected with the different COs. Because in the formulation state, we found that the POs are first initialized and we are including different courses for the actualization of the PO. So definitely the different courses will be connected with different POs. So definitely we have got a few COs which has been connected with this PO. So how will we calculate this one? The same scenario. Instead of combined grade, PO. Instead of homework, CO1. Instead of quiz, CO2. Instead of test, CO3. And what is this? What is the weightage means? That means to what extent that this CO1 is connected with PO. So that is something we call it as weightage. And this is what we are trying to identify in terms of mapping. What is the mapping strength of CO1 with the respective PO? What is the mapping strength of CO2 with respect to PO? What is the mapping strength of CO3 with respect to? So this is what the mapping means, because each CO will be addressing the different POs with the different strength. Some will be strongly addressing, some COs will be moderately addressing, some COs will be feebly addressing. So the mapping strength. So here, this one is feebly addressing, this one is strongly addressing, this one is moderately addressing. So how will you calculate it? So first we have to calculate the CO level attainment. So these are the CO level attainment, homework level attainment, quiz level attainment, like this. So how will you get the PO attainment? It is 10 into, that is weightage into CO attainment plus weightage into CO2 attainment plus weightage into CO3 attainment divided by the sum of weightage. So if you understood this, this is the basis of the attainment calculation which we follow throughout in the outcome-based scenario. So in order to do this, what we have to do? We have to identify which all CO is connected with the PO and what is the strength by which it addresses. That is one thing that we have to first ascertain. Similarly, these COs are connected. The COs are calculated in terms of different activities. You are not directly measuring CO. The CO will be measured in terms of the final examination, terminal examination, the assignments, the seminars, the field trip, industry visit, project. Likewise, you will be giving a number of tasks. So on the basis of this task only, you will be calculating the CO attainment. And on the basis of the CO attainment only, you are calculating PO attainment. This is how the attainment, the assessment will progress. So now I have just given the full topology of the OBE. So obviously we know that the OBE should start from what? Program educational objectives. It is on the basis of this program educational objectives, we have formulated the graduate attributes, and we have written in the form of POs and PSOs. Isn't it? So all these graduate attributes are something which powers our PEO. So these are some competencies which we have selected for the students to accomplish so that they'll be able to successfully accomplish PEO. That is how they have developed. So at the topmost level, we will be having POs and PSOs. So the final assessment will be made with respect to POs and PSOs. That is why I've shown you the scorecard. That is disciplinary knowledge, communication skill, what is the level of attainment, like that. So this is the final assessment that you have to make. So this is calculated how? In terms of the attainment of different course level attainment, COs. So at the topmost level, we have program outcomes and program specific outcomes. And in the topology, these program outcomes and program specific outcomes are attained by administering the different courses for the program. So on successful completion of the program, on successful completion of each courses, the students will be attaining different COs. So at the second level, we will be having a set of COs related to the different courses that you have included in the program. So probably the first semester you will be having five. You may be having five courses, and each courses will be having five outcomes. So totally, how many outcomes will be there? 25 outcomes will be there in the first semester. Likewise, if there are 6 semesters, probably there can be 150 COs. So at the second level, there will be 150 COs. So if you are able to calculate all these COs, then on the basis of these COs, you will be able to calculate POs and PSOs, because every POs and PSOs will be connected to some of the COs. So, or every COs will be connected to few of the POs and PSOs, not all. So by the attainment, by calculating the attainment of these COs, we'll be able to calculate the attainment of POs and PSOs. So how will you attain? How will you calculate the attainment of these COs? The COs are calculated by the different activities. It can be a test. It can be a seminar. It can be a creation of portfolio. It can be a project or whatever it may be. So every course will be having different level of activities. So on the basis of that attainment of that activities, we'll be calculating these COs. And on the basis of this attainment, we'll be calculating the topmost level outcomes, which is the POs and PSOs. So we have first level PO PSOs, second level COs, at the third level the different activities. So we can consider it as level 1 and level 2. So we have to begin with level 2, the number of activities related to the different courses. The attainment of the students in this will help you to calculate the COs, and the attainment of these COs will help you to calculate POs and PSOs. This is how the assessment progresses. So here we have got 2 levels of mapping. The first level is that you have to map. We have to map each COs to the respective POs. Mapping means we have to identify 2 things: whether it is connected, and if connected, what is the strength of the connection? Because in the previous slide I've shown that the first CO is connected with the PO with the strength of 10. The second 20, second 30. So the weightage means the strength of connection. We have to identify the strength. Likewise, here the map level 2 means that whatever tool that you asked, you are using in a course, maybe a test. If you are using a test, every questions which you include in the test should be mapped onto the course level outcome of that course. Or if you are having a seminar, then you have to map that seminar to what all course outcomes to which it is related. If you are having a project, then you have to connect it to the different COs to which it is connected. So likewise, you can have two level mapping, level 1 mapping and level 2 mapping. So now we can just identify the different level mapping. So this is just I've mentioned that in our assessment strategy, PO and PSOs are the final thing that has to be ascertained, and that could be ascertained by calculating COs. So just a descriptive thing, and I'm just familiarizing you with a standard mapping scale. So this is the mapping scale that we are using, and which has been approved by the NBA as well as SNAC, the standard mapping scale. And if you want something in a granular level, you can make it in this way. So here we can have the relationship is that the mapping relation can be either there is no relationship. If it is no relationship, it is 0. That is, CO is not connected with PO, or an activity is not connected with the respective CO. Or it can be having a low level, a moderate level, or significant level. If it is strongly addressing, you can give 3. If it is moderately addressing, you can give 2. If it is feebly addressing, you can give 1. So how can you identify this? This is what we are going to detail in the upcoming slides. And also, there is also one more thing, that is, if it is if the percentage is 0, we can say it is 0, 1. If it is 1 to 50, we can give a weightage. If you are able to express this relationship in terms of percentage, I will show you in the upcoming slides how we can do that. If you are putting, if it is up to 50%, it is only a low level. If it is from 51 to 70, it is a moderate level. If it is from 71 to 100, it is a significant level. And this details, you just keep it in mind. We will just show you when you come to the next level. So here we are working with level 2. I told that level 1, PO mapped with CO. That is level 1. Level 2 means CO mapped with different activities. So one common activity that everyone will have is a test. So if you are administering a test, if the test has got 10 questions, or if you are giving a final examination, if the final examination has got 20 questions, each question has to be mapped to the respective COs of that course. Suppose if the my course that I was handling was Introduction to a Computer. So the final examination, I am administering an examination which has got 15 questions. All the 15 questions should be mapped to the 5 COs which I have formulated in advance. So let this be the format of the CO, because we know that every CO will have a action verb and the learning domain to which the CO is connected. If it is the first module, the learning domain will be the first module. If it is a second module, whatever it may be. So every CO will be having a certain learning that is domain. Domain means the delimitation of the topic to which that CO is connected. And this is the question. According to the Bloom's level, we can frame the questions by incorporating verb part as well as the learning statement. So how will you establish whether there is a connection between this CO and this question? First thing is that whether this learning statement is connected with this domain. Whether this learning statement is from this domain. That is, whether you are framing questions from this domain. If it is so, definitely it is related to the CO. And next one, the level of action verb and the level of action verb connected to the outcome should be compared. That is why the Bloom's taxonomy comes important here. Suppose if here the level of this action verb is an application level, the CO is at an application level. So what will be this level? It will be K3, right? K3, that is remembering, understanding, application. Suppose if you are phrasing that CO with respect to an application level verb, then definitely that will be K3. And suppose this is a question at a remembering level, this is K1. So are they at the same level? No, it is not at an application level, it is lesser. It is not at an understanding level, it is again lesser. It is only at a what level? Remembering level. So they are not at a same level, they are not at a moderate level, they are having only a low level connection. So what can you say about the strength of this connection? It is low. Suppose if this question is a understanding question, I can say that it is a moderate level. And if this is a what level question? If this is a application level question, the same level of that CO, then definitely it is strongly addressed. And if it is strongly addressing, you can give a mapping strength of 3. If it is moderately addressing, you can give a mapping strength of 2. And if it is feebly addressing, you can give a mapping strength of 3. Suppose if this verb is something high, very high, that is if it is at a K5 level, obviously you will not be able to trisect this exactly like this. So I will give you a small formula for finding it. Suppose if this action verb is at an analytical level, it will be K5. And if this verb is at an understanding level, it is K2. So you can just take the percentage. K2, that means 2 divided by the level of outcome 5 into 100. What is that? 40%. Now, this scale comes to scenario. If it is 40%, up to 50%, it is low, right? If it is from 51 to 70%, it is moderate. If it is from 71 to 100, it is significant. Okay, so that could be made use for finding, writing the mapping strength. So I'll just giving you an example, because last day we had a class on outcome-based education. So my outcome is that you have to apply the Bloom's taxonomy in framing questions. That is, my outcome is that you have to apply the Bloom's taxonomy in framing questions. So this is apply the Bloom's taxonomy in framing questions is my outcome. Apply the Bloom's taxonomy in framing questions. So what is the level of that outcome? Definitely it is application level. Apply Bloom's taxonomy in framing questions. Now that was the outcome which I am showcasing, and I have completed my classes, and I am going to give you a question. What is this question? Explain the level of learning in cognitive level. So this is the question that I have asked. My outcome was functional level. Apply Bloom's taxonomy in framing question, application level. And the question that I've given you for assessment is explain the different levels of cognitive. Explain the different levels in cognitive. So what mapping strength you will give here? So here the level is K3. Here the level is K2 only. So what is the mapping strength? Yes, it is coming up. It is coming up. What is that? Mapping strength. K2, 2 divided by 3 into 100 will be 66 points, something like that. And it comes in with which level? From 0 to 50, low. From 51 to 70, moderate. And 70 to 100, good. That is high. So moderate level. So if you are able to understand that, this is clear. What is it? This question could be mapped onto this. Every question should be mapped onto CO, isn't it? Every question or every activity. The CO is at an application level. The question is at an understanding level. So it is only moderately mapped to this. So every question or every activity should be mapped on the basis of the Bloom's taxonomy. So that is the importance of Bloom's taxonomy. That is why I've given that much of importance for Bloom's taxonomy. It is essential for framing, it is essential for assessment, and it is also essential for framing or creating different strategies. One more question I'll put. Using Bloom's taxonomy, prepare an application level question in your subject. This is what I'm going to ask. So what is the level you could give? So this is the activity that I am giving you for assessment whether the outcome is met. Yes, 3, very good, 3, because this is an application level. The question, this is using Bloom's taxonomy, prepare. So this is a functional level question, application level, both are of the same level. So same domain, same level 3. So cool, it is cool. So that is how. So suppose if it is a question paper, level 2 assessment, you will be having some 15 questions. I will be having multiple COs because the first, this is the final examination. I have got 15 questions. Okay, CO1, CO2, CO3, CO5, all these COs, I am assuming that it is what? At an application level. Okay, so the first question is from first module. If it is from first module, okay, it is mapped to CO1. And how it is mapped? This is an application level question. And by looking at the verb, it seems to be an understanding level question. So application, understanding. What is the mapping strength? This is 3, this is 2. So 2. This is a question from second chapter. That means I have applied that strategy that first module, first CO, second module, second CO. So this is directly connected to this CO. This is defined. Defined means remembering level. And obviously all the COs happens to be in the application level. So obviously it is 1. Okay, list. This is from the fourth chapter. Fourth chapter means CO4. Okay, so what is this? This is only remembering level. So this is how you could map it. You could have the mapping. So, one important tool that you use for calculating outcome is that that is, you have to give that when we are integrating OBE, the subject-wise mark will be there as such, no change. But with respect to the mark, we are parallelly calculating what CO level attainment also. So the attainment in the paper will be there as what we are following in the normal way. And also by taking that map, we are pulling out what level the students are attaining. That is what has been happening here. And obviously, here, when we are working with a course, the course will be having both these activities. That is the assessment, the different activities will be there. That is, this is the CO linked course plan. This is a CO linked course plan. So here we have giving 60% marks for external examination and 40% marks for the internal examination. And for the internals, we are including as assignment, project, case study. This is only a simple instance which I'm showing, right? Assignment is there as a part of the course. Project is there, case study is there, field trip is there, term 1 examination is there, term 2 examination. And the internal mark will be calculated from this one. And I'm giving 5, 5, 5, 5, 10, 10. Okay, together I'm getting it as 40. Okay, so I am just giving 40 a distribution like this. So first assignment I'm taking from the first 2 chapters. So it will be related to CO1 and CO2. And it is giving more emphasis on CO2 and less emphasis on CO. So this is how you can. So I am just giving a project spanning these 3 modules. So more emphasis is there in. So likewise, you can make mapping. And terminal examination, it is from CO1 and CO2. Here, I have to make question-wise mapping. So you can just input the CO attainment with respect to the test. The question-wise mapping, we have shown it in the previous slides. So apart from these questions, every other activities could be mapped to the respective COs. And if you want further a granular level, then you can create rubrics for this assignment, and the rubrics may having different criteria. So you can split this weightage with respect to this criteria, and also you can map specifically which criteria is connected to which COs, so that you can do it in that way also. So, so this is how you can prepare a mapping topology for the assessment. So here we have an external examination. Obviously, the entire paper will be getting mapped. So that is how we can calculate. And the calculation part, Mendoza will be detailing because we don't have much time now. Now it's already 9:06. So I will just speed it off. So that was the level 2 mapping. And the level 1 mapping is graduate attribute mapped onto COs. So this will be the structure of a CO, because the CO will be having an action verb and the learning domain to which the CO is connected. And graduate attribute, as we know that it is a bunch of competencies, isn't it? If the PO1 is communication skill, obviously the communication skill has got a multiple competencies like speaking, reading, writing, negotiating, use of this a number of things could be there, graduate attributes. So these graduate attributes you can convert into different competencies, and competencies you can convert into different indicators. So how do you say that? What are the indicators for reading, writing, like that? The students like that, you can split it into indicators, and you can compare each CO with these graduate attributes. Suppose if the COs are covering more than 40% of the graduate attribute, because if you are making a detailed list of the graduate attributes corresponding to every PO, it can be about 10, 15 or something like that. So you can check the number of graduate competencies that this CO spans. If it is more than 40, you can give it as 3. If it is between 25 and 40, you can give it as 2. And if it is between 25 and 5, you can give it as 1. And anything less than 5%, you can ignore it. So this is how you may be able to map the mapping strength of the CO with respect to the PO. Because PO, we know that is nothing but a bunch of competencies. You have to split the COs into the different possibilities the different competencies that envelops in that PO, and you have to check what all competencies that this CO addresses. So most probably it will be hardly 40% and more will be comparatively less. Mostly we can have 201 level, whatever it may be like that. So you can identify the number of competencies that this CO spans. If it is more than 40%, 3. If it is between 25 and 42, then if it is between 5 and 25, 1. And there is one more method by which you can map on the basis of the credits or the time that is spent for actualizing this CO. So that could be made only on completion of the course, or you have to be that expert. How much time you have to spend. The percentage of time could be made into this type of spread. But I prefer this one so that you will be able to have a clarity. And not only that, the AICT is also framing the mapping in this way only. That is because I refer AICT because they have gone much ahead. That is why that is PO divided into competencies and indicators, and identify what all percentage of competencies that the CO spans, and on the basis of that they are giving the mapping strength. So finally, by the end of that is every course, suppose I took the introduction to the computer as a course, and I am having 9 POs. Then the first CO may not be mapped to all the POs. This is mapped to the first PO, the second PO with a moderate level. That means it is spanning about 25% of the competencies included in this PO. And here it is feebly mapped like this. So this is this CO is mapped to 3 POs. The second CO has been mapped to 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it is mapping to more POs. So likewise, you can make a CO-PO mapping. So CO-PO mapping is level 1 mapping, which we identify the strength on the basis of the percentage of competencies that the CO spans. So this is what you have to do for making CO-PO mapping. Similarly, this is subject specific, right? So every COs will be definitely mapping onto the different PSOs. So here we have taken 4 PSOs, so it will be mapping to the 4 PSOs on the basis of this strength. And finally, we can make a consolidated matrix including all the COs of the program. That is probably according to what we have calculated. If the first a course is having 5 COs, and if 5 modules are there in the first semester, obviously 25 COs will be there. And if the 6 semesters, 150 COs will be there. So you can lift all the COs as a program matrix, and all the POs and PSOs could be consolidated. Why? Because we have to ascertain that whether all the POs is having sufficiently addressed. So you can fix a threshold that minimum 15 or 20 instances should be there for every POs. So you can calculate. The PSOs will be sufficiently addressed because they are domain specific. If the graduate attributes may not be, is not domain specific, so they will be having feebly addressed graduate attributes. If so, we have to identify these graduate attributes, and we have to give non-course activities so that these graduate attributes are also met. Because by the end of the day, or by the end of the program, all the graduate attributes should be sufficiently met. So if some of the graduate attributes are not sufficiently met by means of the course outcomes, we have to identify some additional non-course activities which focuses on that graduate attribute, so that we should ascertain that the students have attained that also on completion of this program. Here the task which has been given here is, I will just mention the task. This is the task which has been there for this. This is the task 3. That is, you can write a course outcome, as we have mentioned, a course outcome, and you can frame a question at the remembering level, and you can mark the strength related to that. Then you can take another course outcome, and you can write an understanding level question, and you can map the mapping strength. Just to make you familiar with this mapping and identification of the strength. and this is the task 3 related to our topic. So I think this is a very little, what you could say, little thing which comes to you through practice. So if it is the first instance you are hearing, obviously some lack of clarity, maybe obviously that's sure. So while working with it, if you could take some inputs from this, that will definitely make your journey comfortable in the formulation of OBE as well as mapping of these, which is essential, very important for the assessment. And how to calculate assessments, all these things will be discussed at the next sections by Dr. Mendes. So let us conclude this section for now, because we have got time only up to 9, and we have taken 15 minutes addition. So if you have something to be cleared, the platform is open.
If you have any questions to Dr. Sunil Job, you can please post them, or you can.
Very fast, because you know that 2 sections are sandwiched into 1 section. So obviously I have to make it little fast. So these recordings will be available. If you have missed anything, you can just check it out, replay it, and you can bring clarity.
The session is available, will be recorded and available in the LMS, so you can take it on there.
So the calculations will be discussed during the Mendes sections. So if you have any query, you can put it, or we can.
Please make sure that you complete the workshop activity for today. And in yesterday's session, there was a lesson activity that needs to be completed. Bloom's Taxonomy's lesson activity that needs to be completed if you need your certificate. So that is one aspect of aspect that needs to be completed for the download of your certificate. So that needs to be completed, and there are 2 MCQs in today's session as well. Please do that. And there is finally a feedback form. The feedback form is open for you. If you want to put in your feedback, you can do that. And that is also, these 4 things are essential for you to download your certificate. Your certificate will be only available after the last day of the program.
So the calculation of COs and POs will be discussed by Dr. Mendes. So you will be having a full section where you can go in a relaxed manner. So we'll be detailing more. Okay. So at this point of time, we can include only this much, because we cannot give more details, because the time is only limited. In the next sections, we'll be having more details regarding the calculations, then regarding the rubrics. All these things will be discussed in the later sections. Okay.
Yes, on Monday we'll be having a Mendes session, so these things will be discussed there, COs and POs. All right, everybody, I think we will end the session for today. If you need access to the LMS and you need to make the payment of the processing fee of rupees 300, you can make the payment and share the transaction details to the WhatsApp number 90205 92530. Okay, I'll just put that in the chat.
Okay, tomorrow you'll be having section. There's something written whether tomorrow do you have section?
Yes, tomorrow there is a session. There will be one more session tomorrow. Mendes' session will be on Monday, though. Tomorrow we have another person who will take the session.
Okay, so I think let us conclude. Now it's already 9:18. So it's a very obviously we have gone with a little fast, because we have to complete the entire roadmap. So yeah. I'm very happy that you could get. I think the mapping, all these things, you have responded rightly, and very happy to see that. Anyhow, you can have a lot of good experiences. The real thing there in that LMS, and if you have missed or something, you feel fast in the LMS, these recordings will be available. You can just revisit the area where you found it difficult and try to complete that, so that you will get the maximum advantage from these classes. So, okay, so hope that you will having better
Yeah.
OB implementation in your
Tomorrow's session is by
institutions.
Dr. Suresh Nambudiri. He'll be taking on OB and the underlying threads. So that will be the topic for tomorrow. So you can attend that as well. If you didn't get that, there's a question. You have paid though, or didn't get the LMS access. If you didn't get the LMS access, please, uh, you can make a call or WhatsApp these numbers which are posted out here. Just speak to them and they will check it out. All right, everybody. Thank you again.
Okay.
Thank you for attending this today's session. Thank you for your time and taking the effort to attend the session. We will see you tomorrow, same time.
Okay, so thank you all for patient listening for such a
Yeah.
long time. Thank you very much, and
Thank you.
have
And
a good night as well as a good weekend. Thank you.